I watched a man in a fake uniform raise his hand and strike my sister across the face. The crack of it was the only sound on our quiet street. Before we get into how this started, and more importantly, how it ended, tell me where you're joining from today. Leave your country below. I had been home for 72 hours, 3 days since returning from my last assignment overseas. My body was still on another time zone, my senses still sharpened to a different kind of alert. I was standing right there, on the porch, sipping coffee, trying to remember what normal quiet felt like. And then I saw him, a guy in a dark polo shirt with a laminated HOA officer badge clipped to his chest. My sister, Maya, was on the sidewalk, her arms folded defensively. She was speaking calmly, but her posture was rigid. Then his open palm shot out. It wasn't a push, it was a deliberate, forceful slap. Her head snapped to the side. She didn't make a sound, just brought a hand up slowly to her reddening cheek, her eyes wide with shock. "That's for non-compliance," he stated, as if he just issued a parking ticket. "My name is Alex. I serve. I don't advertise it. We moved to this cul-de-sac so Maya would have a safe place while I was away. She's kind to a fault, the sort of person who brings in neighbors' packages without being asked. That kindness made her a target for Patricia Shaw, the HOA board chair. Patricia disliked our family from the start, but she despised Maya. Why? Because Maya politely declined repeated advances from Patricia's nephew, Gavin. Gavin became the neighborhood's compliance officer shortly after. No training, no real authority, just a title his aunt invented. It began with Gavin finding reasons to be where Maya was, checking meter readings when she got home, assessing curb appeal while she gardened. He'd linger, make uncomfortable comments disguised as small talk. She asked him to stop. He didn't. Then the official notices started. Her flower pot was unauthorized. Her car was parked outside designated lines. Every frivolous citation came from Gavin. Every appeal to Patricia was dismissed. "He's upholding community standards," she'd say. I was still deployed when Maya's emails grew more anxious. I told her to save everything, to be firm but civil. I assured her I'd deal with it when I got back. I never imagined what dealing with it would look like. The day I arrived back, Gavin appeared. He claimed Maya had violated a vegetation height ordinance for the daisies by our walkway. He demanded she sign a compliance agreement on the spot. She refused, asking to see the bylaw. He called her defiant. That's when he hit her. As I watched her touch her stinging face, a profound, icy clarity settled over me. This wasn't about flowers or rules. This was about a bully who'd never been held accountable, and his accountability clock had just run out. I was moving before my coffee cup hit the porch rail. No yell, no dramatic charge, just 3 silent, rapid strides that closed the gap between us. My left hand clamped onto the front of his polo shirt, twisting the fabric in the badge into a tight knot against his chest. I drove him backwards several steps, away from Maya. "Do not ever raise your hand to her again." My voice was flat, devoid of heat, a simple statement of new reality. He was stunned for a heartbeat, then panic and arrogance took over. He tried to shove me away, his hands slapping against my shoulders. His movements were frantic, unskilled. I used his own momentum against him, pulling him forward off balance before shoving him back again. His heel caught on the pavement. He grunted, winded. He swung a wide looping punch. I deflected it inward, stepped into his space, and drove my elbow into his diaphragm. The air left his lungs in a pained whoosh. He bent over, gagging. Before he could recover, I pivoted and landed a measured, controlled strike to his jaw. His head jerked sideways. A dazed, stupid look fluttered his eyes. He wobbled, tried to stay upright, and swung again blindly. I caught his arm, twisted it behind his back, and guided him firmly down onto the grass.
He stayed there on his knees, coughing and disoriented. The street, which had been holding its breath, erupted. A curtain twitched, a door opened. Patricia Shaw came sprinting from her house, her face a mask of outrage. "Get him off, you animal!" she screamed. I simply stepped between her and my sister, turning my back to her. My focus was on Maya. "You're okay," I said, my voice low. "It's over." Sirens pierced the air, growing rapidly louder. The real authorities were about to arrive, and the narrative was already written in the clear daylight. Bullies only understand the language of consequences, spoken firmly and without apology. If you believe standing up to that kind of intimidation is right, let me know with a like, and follow Winds of Thought to see how the system dealt with a man who thought a homemade badge was a license to assault. 2 patrol cars arrived. Officers took in the scene. A man in a pseudo-uniform on the ground, a young woman with a fresh handprint on her face, and a crowd of murmuring neighbors. Patricia launched into her version immediately. "Officers, this man assaulted a community official. My nephew was just doing his duty." An officer looked at Gavin's makeshift badge, then at Maya's cheek. He turned to me. "Sir, what happened?" "My sister was assaulted by that man. I intervened to stop it." I handed him my military ID without fanfare. He glanced at it, his expression neutral, but his assessment clearly shifting. Paramedics checked Gavin. "Probable jaw fracture," one said. As they loaded him, Patricia tried to protest again. An officer held up a hand. "Ma'am, we'll get everyone's statement." Then Maya spoke up, her voice steadying. "I have evidence." She pulled out her phone. For weeks, she'd recorded Gavin's loitering, his comments. She had screenshots of text messages from unknown numbers telling her to be more cooperative. She had a log of every bogus violation. A neighbor stepped forward. "I saw the whole thing. He hit her first. I've got video from my doorbell cam." The digital evidence was overwhelming and immediate. In the following days, the legal process unfolded with satisfying precision. Gavin was charged with assault, harassment, and impersonating a public servant. Confronted with the video evidence in Maya's dossier, he took a plea deal. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison and a permanent restraining order. Patricia Shaw wasn't immune. Investigations revealed she had fabricated the officer position and authorized his harassment. She was charged with conspiracy and misuse of HOA funds to pay her nephew. She was removed from the board, faced heavy fines, and ordered to complete community service. The HOA, exposed as a vehicle for personal vendettas, collapsed from within. A new, transparent board was elected, and the dubious compliance officer role was abolished permanently. Maya walks to her car now without looking over her shoulder. The daisies by the walkway have grown back, wild and untrimmed. True authority doesn't need a costume. It carries itself with quiet integrity. So what do you think? Was my response justified, or was there another way? I'm here to listen. Thanks for being part of Winds of Thought.